The year was 1974. The quaint seaside town of Amityville, New York, bore witness to a horrifying crime that would forever stain the history of 112 Ocean Avenue. This peaceful community, known for its serene landscapes and friendly neighbors, was about to be thrust into the national spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Ronald DeFeo Jr., a young man consumed by a darkness unknown, took the lives of his entire family as they slept peacefully in their beds. The brutality of the act was incomprehensible, leaving 6 members of the DeFeo family dead: his parents, 2 brothers, and 2 sisters. The community reeled in shock and disbelief. Neighbors who had once exchanged pleasantries with the DeFeo family were now grappling with the reality that such evil had been lurking so close to home. How could such a tragedy unfold in their midst? The questions were endless, and the answers were few. The town held vigils, trying to make sense of the senseless, while detectives worked tirelessly to piece together the events of that fateful night. DeFeo's trial provided little solace, offering only a glimpse into the chilling depths of his madness. The courtroom became a theater of horror, where the unimaginable was laid bare for all to see. He confessed to the murders, claiming that disembodied voices had driven him to commit the unspeakable. These voices, he said, were relentless, echoing through his mind and leaving him no peace. The voices, he asserted, haunted the very walls of the house, whispering to him, urging him to carry out his gruesome act. The idea that a house could be the source of such malevolence was both terrifying and fascinating. His claims were met with a mixture of horror and skepticism. Some believed him, convinced that the house was indeed cursed, while others saw it as a desperate attempt to escape responsibility. Could a house, a seemingly inanimate structure, truly harbor such malevolent forces? The question lingered, adding another layer of mystery to an already perplexing case. The house at 112 Ocean Avenue stood silent, a haunting reminder of the horrors that transpired within its walls. Its once welcoming facade now seemed to leer at passers-by, as if daring them to uncover its secrets. The DeFeo murders cast a long shadow over the property, leaving an indelible mark of tragedy and terror. The house became a symbol of fear, its dark history overshadowing any attempts to return to normalcy. Little did anyone know that this was just the beginning of the nightmare that would come to be known as the Amityville Horror. The events that followed would only deepen the mystery and amplify the fear surrounding the house. The house, once a symbol of suburban comfort, now stood as a macabre spectacle, attracting curious onlookers and fueling whispered tales of madness and murder. It became a magnet for those drawn to the morbid and the unexplained. It seemed that the evil that had gripped Ronald DeFeo Jr. had seeped into the very foundation of the house, leaving an inescapable aura of dread in its wake. The air around the property felt heavy, as if the very ground was tainted by the bloodshed. The question lingered in the air like a ghostly specter. Would anyone ever dare to live in that house again? The legacy of the DeFeo murders ensured that 112 Ocean Avenue would forever be remembered as a place where evil once dwelled. Just over a year after the DeFeo murders, the house at 112 Ocean Avenue found new occupants. George and Kathy Lutz, along with their 3 children, were drawn to the house's spacious interior and sprawling property. The charm of the colonial-style home, with its picturesque windows and inviting front porch, seemed like the perfect place to start anew. The asking price was remarkably low, a steal for a house of its size in such a desirable neighborhood. It was almost too good to be true, and the Lutzes couldn't believe their luck. The real estate agent was upfront about the house's history, but the Lutzes, eager to start fresh in their new home, dismissed it as a tragic past that wouldn't affect their future. They reasoned that the past was the past, and they were more concerned with the future they were about to build. They were a modern family, grounded in logic and reason. They didn't believe in ghosts or curses. To them, the house was just a structure, bricks and mortar, devoid of any supernatural influence. The house may have had a troubled past, but the Lutzes were determined to create a happy and loving home within its walls. They envisioned family gatherings, laughter, and warmth filling every corner of the house. They saw it as an opportunity to breathe new life into a place tainted by tragedy, to reclaim it from the grip of darkness. With every stroke of paint and every piece of furniture placed, they felt they were erasing the shadows of the past. Unpacking boxes and arranging furniture, the Lutz family bustled about, their laughter echoing through the empty rooms. The children ran through the hallways, their excitement palpable as they explored their new home. For a brief moment, the house felt like any other, filled with the promise of a new beginning. The Lutzes felt a sense of accomplishment and hope, believing they had made the right decision. But beneath the surface, a palpable unease lingered, a subtle shift in the atmosphere that hinted at the horrors to come. It was as if the house itself was watching, waiting for the right moment to reveal its true nature. The house, it seemed, had other plans. The walls, once silent, began to whisper secrets of the past, and the air grew thick with an unspoken tension. The whispers of the house's dark past seemed to follow them from room to room, a constant reminder of the heinous acts that had stained the walls. The Lutzes began to notice strange occurrences, unexplained noises, cold spots, and fleeting shadows. The Lutzes tried to ignore the nagging feeling of dread that settled in the pit of their stomachs, but it was always there, lurking just beneath the surface of their newfound domesticity. They told themselves it was just their imagination, a trick of the mind. The house, it seemed, was not yet finished with its reign of terror. The Lutzes would soon realize that their dream home was in fact a nightmare waiting to unfold, and the true horror of 112 Ocean Avenue was only just beginning. The honeymoon phase of the Lutz family's new life at 112 Ocean Avenue was short-lived. They had moved in with high hopes and dreams. Almost immediately, strange and unsettling occurrences began to plague their days and nights. It started with small, almost imperceptible things, a flicker of the lights, a shadow that seemed to move on its own. Doors slammed shut on their own, seemingly guided by an unseen hand. The sound echoed through the house, a chilling reminder that they were not alone. Foul odors, reminiscent of decaying flesh, wafted through the house, despite their best efforts to locate and eliminate the source. The children complained of whispering voices and cold spots that seemed to follow them from room to room. At first, the Lutzes tried to rationalize these strange events. They discussed the possibilities, trying to find logical explanations. But as the days turned into weeks, the occurrences grew increasingly difficult to dismiss as mere coincidence or the quirks of an aging home. The atmosphere inside the house grew heavy with a palpable sense of dread. It was as if the very air had turned against them. Unease clung to the air like a thick fog, suffocating any remnants of the joy and optimism the family had initially brought with them. The house, it seemed, was slowly tightening its grip on the Lutz family, drawing them deeper into its web of terror.